Yo, 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 yo! Welcome to the stream. Just finishing up my lunch and then we'll get to it. The big event of the year. The moment you've all been waiting for all year. Or that a little bit. Maybe I should have ate first before I started the stream. I'm not even close to being done. I'm like halfway. Just gotta eat all super fast. Let me think of a good playlist. Let's do like songs to fill an empty head. Top 100 Nintendo music. Could do that one. I'm sure it's got good music in it. You know, let's give it a little bit of a test run, shall we? What's the first one? If the first one's bad, we're out. Oh my god. Okay, the first one's good. Wait a second. Is this even... Wait, that wasn't even the first song! That was just the intro. Alright, this one isn't great, but we'll keep it. Oh man, no, I can't think to this music. No, I can't think to this music. This is too, loud. I'll do a Kirby medley. Yeah, I'll do that. Alright, one last slice and then we're in there. I love Rainbow Resort. Thank you. No, this is goated. This is a goated song. Okay, I'm done eating. Let's get to it. Everybody, welcome to the stream. Today we are doing our year wrap-up. We're going to be going through every game that I've played this year. The only exclusions being some of the games I played on Playdate, just because I played them for like 10 fucking minutes each. I did include one Playdate game because I played it a significant amount, but generally, I haven't touched too many of them. Not to say that Playdate games don't deserve to be on here, because some of them definitely do. But I cannot in good conscience put them on the list when I have barely even touched them for more than a couple of minutes. So, let's get into it. So today we have a couple of tiers and a couple of games. Enough talk. Let's get right into it. Ah. Oh, this is perfect. This fits perfectly. Alright, can you guys read the tiers clearly? Is everything legible? Looks good to me. Everything is in a perfect spot. You can even see the tier maker company logo. Kinda small? I could make this bigger, but then I guess the games being cut off doesn't really matter too much. Is this better? Better? Okay. Yeah, I'll just have to scroll down to grab games, but actually I probably wouldn't have to, because like we're gonna go in order. We're not gonna like grab some from the bottom and bring them back up. Alright, cool. We got it good. We're gonna have some fun here. So, just real quick, do a rundown of the tiers and what they mean. Best game I played this year, objective. Parentheses objective. Pretty self-explanatory, but it is a game this year that I enjoyed very, very much. I loved it, and I also think it is objectively an amazing game. So, last year I put games like Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, Skyward Sword, what else did I put on there? What else? I think Bowser's Fury, that's true. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory, but then we have... yeah, so this isn't just games that came out this year, this is games I've played this year. So you will see some games that released either a year ago, a couple years ago, a decade ago even, multiple decades ago. So we got a good variety here. Best games I played this year subjective. These are games that, again, I have enjoyed basically on the same level as the top tier, but have some issues to the point where I can't, in good conscience, put them in the same tier as the top tier. So last year I put games like Balan Wonderworld and Mario Party Superstars on this tier. Those are games I loved and I think are good, but have a few issues that drop them just below the top tier. Like, you know, Balan had like issues with the costume balancing and everything, and I think like the momentum and stuff could have maybe been fixed. And then Mario Party, some pretty bad minigame choices, let's be real. And also the roster is way smaller than Super Mario Party, and the boards could have maybe used a bit more tuning. But still generally loved both of those games. You know, them being just a tier below the greats is still amazing. I enjoy is just for games I liked this year. Just games that I finished and I enjoyed thoroughly. Last of Us Part 1, get out of my screen. I got a pop-up for Last of Us Part 1 from the Epic Game Store. Take that away. Yeah, this is just a tier for games I enjoyed, but they didn't quite crack my core. They didn't quite change me on an emotional level or fill me with love, you know? They are just games that I played to completion and went, hey, you know what? Very good. 2 thumbs up. Haven't finished but good. Again, self-explanatory. These are games that I think are good and I enjoyed, but for one reason or another that I have not yet finished them. Either I have dropped them or I'm gonna get around to them, but it's just the cutoff. Like Mario Rabbids and High on Life will not go above this tier, because I am still playing them, unfortunately. I could not finish either of them before today's stream, so they unfortunately will not be able to crack above this tier. But they might be here, they might be below. Who knows? We'll find out when we get to it and we discuss it. It's Okay may or may not have finished. So this one just used to be called It's Okay last year. But I had to add a parentheses because I noticed on my tier list last year, all of the games in the It's Okay tier were games I have not finished. So I have to make the clarification that games that are okay are games that, you know, they're alright. I don't hate them. I don't love them. They are games I played, and I had no strong feelings either way. I might have had fun for a little bit, and I was just like, you know what? Cool enough. I'm out. It's like a 1 thumbs up. If I enjoy is 2 thumbs up, It's Okay is a 1 thumbs up. And then we have Bad, parentheses, Soul. These are for games that I think are objectively repugnant, but they have some sort of X factor that that I enjoy, despite how bad I think the game is. So last year, the only game that scratched this tier was Security Breach, and the X factor in that game was Glamrock Freddy, and just generally the art direction of that game. You know, as much as I did not enjoy Security Breach, I did enjoy Glamrock Freddy and all of the subsequent memes that came from his inclusion in the game. So that's what this tier is for. And then we have Bad, parentheses, No Soul. These are for objectively bad games that are fucking just irredeemable. Like, this is for cash grabs and asset reflips, and just generally bad games that have no redeeming qualities. So, last year it was Monkey Ball, Banana Mania, or whatever. And you might think that's crazy, but I have a very specific... When it comes to remasters... Hello? Hold on a sec. Sorry about that. So yeah, when it comes to remasters, if I can play the original on emulator, and it is a better experience than the remaster is automatically shit, in my opinion. And that's how I felt with Monkey Ball Remaster. I could play Monkey Ball 2 on Dolphin and have a better experience, so that remaster is automatically worthless to me. That's what the kind of games end up in bad, parentheses, no soul. And haven't finished but bad. This is a tier for games, they're just like a fart, you know? They just like... It's like, yep. That sure was terrible, and I had no interest in even attempting to complete it. And then last here is incest, parentheses, literal. This is pretty self-explanatory. This is for games that have incest in it, and automatically get placed here no matter how good they were prior to the incest. This is a carryover from last year, if you guys remember last year's tier list. There was a little game called 12 Minutes. And I thoroughly enjoyed it until the very end. Now, granted, nothing might end up in this tier. I am just keeping it as a carryover. I don't think any of these games contain incest. But it was just such a funny tier to have last year that I had to carry it over just for, like, tradition's sake. Yeah, that's the rundown for all the tiers. And we got a couple of games to get through. So, let's begin at the top. I don't have a specific order I put these in. These are not, like, by date or anything. I just took all the images from backlog.com and put them in a folder. And this is kind of how they sorted out. Alright, so let's begin with Shovel Knight Dig. So Shovel Knight Dig I thought was a pretty fun game, but nothing about it was like... It wasn't like a super standout game. Like, this is the next Shovel Knight game. Well, hold up. Next Shovel Knight platformer since the original Shovel Knight. And it definitely doesn't quite reach the heights of that game. I mean, the original Shovel Knight is like an indie classic. It turned Shovel Knight into basically the indie character. So any follow-up to that in any way has a bit of an uphill battle. It got him in Smash, it did. And so Shovel Knight Dig is a roguelike version of Shovel Knight, which is kind of downwelly, a little downwelly, but it's not really a high score game. Well, actually, it kind of is, because you get high score through treasure and stuff. I think it's okay. But there's nothing super standing out about it, you know? It is made by a completely different studio. It is made by that one studio that makes a bunch of mobile games. And I think it's okay, but I have issues with like the automatic shovel drop, and I think it also is a bit short and doesn't have too many levels. Obviously, they're going to work on that, but for now, it is just an okay experience. I didn't hate it. I didn't particularly love it. It was a thumbs up. It was a singular thumbs up. I never finished it either. I never bothered to reach the end. I'm very bad with roguelikes, as you can tell from a few other games I played this year. I never end up finishing them. Alright, God of War. Oh, this is the original. I still haven't finished this, and I am probably not going to play Ragnarok until I finish this. Oh boy, how do I feel about this? So, if you've been watching my stream for a long time, I feel like you kind of get the games, the things in games that I enjoy and what I don't. And I think the theme of this year in particular are games that constantly, or not constantly, but like very frequently, context sensitivity, yeah. It's all about that context sensitivity. That's something I've always felt, and then when that video came out and put it into words, my brain was rewired, and now I see it all the time. Like, I literally notice it in every game I play now. And that was kind of the tale of God of War, is it is very contextually sensitive. And it's also just like, generally I don't really enjoy it so far. Like, the story I'm not super into. The graphics, that's really what it's all about. The gameplay, I'm not super into. I don't really like the combat that much at all. I dropped it down to easy, or like, difficulty below what I was currently at, just because I didn't want to keep dying, because I wasn't enjoying going through the combat. So I dropped the difficulty, and I just want to experience the cool set piece moments. That's really it. That's really the only thing that I'm playing this game for. But I don't like controlling Kratos. I'm not too into the characters quite yet. This game also has a lot of RPG mechanics that I wish it didn't have. I have like zero interest in upgrading my gear for Kratos. I do not gain joy from giving Kratos a new vest, so I have +3 fire defense. Not really what I'm playing these kind of games for. And then, you know, you have like all the very scripted climbing sequences and the shuffling through things. And it's just, it's okay. It's okay. It's an okay experience, but not one that I'm particularly excited to continue playing. I am going to continue playing it, just in case at some point later on in my playthrough it clicks with me. I would like it to click, because I know a lot of people like this game. So I am waiting for that clicking moment. But for now, it has a lot of things that I don't enjoy in these type of games. You know, I play an adventure game, I want to play an adventure game. I don't want to play a stat-crunching RPG. Thank you very much. It's just okay. What else did I want to say about it? It is pretty. I'll give it that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream it again, since my computer seems to not want to be cooperating. Went for that one change, and now everything doesn't want to work properly. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's because this is on it now. This was not here before. I'll think about that later. Number go up? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it just seems it's a bit unnecessary to add that stuff, because I don't know what that adds to the experience, other than just like giving you something to explore for. Like, I know people love like crafting and getting bigger numbers and everything, but it's like a linear adventure game. It's very, very linear. So I don't see why that, like, it's lame. AAA gotta have loot? Yeah, I guess they do. I guess they do. Speaking of adventure games, we got Okami! I finally played it after years of people telling me, dude, you gotta play Okami. Everybody even Hannah telling me, you gotta play Okami. It's like, fantastic. Now, unfortunately, and I think I have mentioned this even as I have been playing it, Okami is very good. I can agree that it is very good, and I understand now after playing it why people love it and why people hold it so dearly. And there were moments of Okami that I genuinely really loved. Like the first big dungeon where like you go to like the fight what you presume is the final boss. Loved that dungeon. I loved the digging minigame actually. That was really fun. Anytime where the game was like firing on all cylinders, I loved it. However, I unfortunately never truly connected with the story or the world, which is a big thing for me, especially in games like this. If I can't connect with characters or the world, I'm not gonna have as much investment in it as I would otherwise. But I do think the gameplay is very cool. I think one thing I mentioned is that I do wish the enemies were less segmented. You know, what makes Zelda so good is that the enemies are in the world that you are exploring. Whereas in Okami, the enemies just kind of pop up and you fight them in a little circle. It's fine, but I think it does take away from what could have been a very cool exploration combat synced experience. So again, very good. I liked it a lot. Doesn't quite crack the top 2 tiers. Very good though. Music fantastic, art style fantastic. I love when games let you do like personal things, and then the personal things show up later in a funny way. Like when I did the Owu mask. Loved that. But yeah. Didn't quite shatter my core, you know? Her Story. So Her Story was a very interesting game. I've never quite played a game like this. You know, if you haven't seen this game, it's sort of like you're on a computer and you have to find videos by searching for like tags and keywords and everything, and then you watch like a bunch of segmented clips and you try to piece together this story. Mike, is it bad that I was feeling checked out watching Her Story? So that's what I'm getting to. Her Story, I thought, was very interesting for the first, like, half. But once you get to, like, the second half, and if you're like me and you're a big dumb who is not good at understanding context clues, it can be very frustrating trying to piece together those last couple of clips. Like, at a certain point, I had to, fall back on the cheat, because I was just getting so frustrated with not being able to move forward in the story. Because I couldn't I didn't know what words to type anymore. Everything was already typed out. And so I had to, you know, do the cheat where you just type the one word and then watch all the clips in order. At that point, I'm not really playing a game. I'm just sort of watching the story unfold. And it was an interesting story. Like, it was a very fun and interesting story to kind of piece together. But I think as a experience and as a game, it did lose me in the later half. So I hate to do it because I did enjoy it, but I don't know if I enjoyed it as much to put it in the I enjoy tier. So I don't think I would ever... I haven't really, like, reminisced too much about it since. I think it is solidly. It's a high okay. It's a high okay. It's a high okay. It's a high one big thumbs up. They tried something different. I appreciate their approach, but it did kind of lose me near the end. Smash Legends! So this kind of came out of nowhere. This I ended up playing because of an Action Esports video which talked about it. It is like a top-down... I wouldn't call it a Smash game, but it's like a top-down brawler with knockout elements. So like you can knock out people off the stage, there's edge guarding and stuff like that. So there's smashy elements, but it's not a Smash type game. It's more of a top-down mobile brawler where you can knock people off a stage and edge guard, you know? And I actually really, really enjoyed this game. I've played it quite a bit. I even played it a little bit the other day because they put out a new character, and I wanted to see if I could play as them, but it looks like they're doing the Overwatch 2 thing where they're hiding characters behind a battle pass for the first battle pass that they're out. That's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this game's style. Writing, not very good. The writing is very, very cheesy. But the character designs and general aesthetic of the game I really, really like. And I feel bad that this game is like a mobile game, because I think if they made this for console and maybe added a bit more complexity to the movesets, I think this could have popped off with like the core gaming market. I don't know how it's currently doing in the mobile market, but like if the dev team ever feels the need that like they need to pivot, I would say pivot. Like take this concept and these character designs and this like general gameplay feel and build on it and put it out for a core video game audience. Because right now I think it is a very cool concept and it's really fun. Like I have a lot of fun playing this game, but I do think it's held back somewhat by the platform it's on. That being said though, like I never have a bad time playing it. I have a very good time playing it. So I'm gonna slide it up here. I think I enjoy it a lot. Again, not quite as good as the top two tiers, but I have a lot of fun playing this game and I'm gonna keep playing it until we get that end of service notice. But no, it's very, very cool. Again, don't love it. It didn't quite crack my core, but it is solidly in the I enjoy tier. Ooh. Pokemon Legends Arceus. So a bit of history. A bit of contextual sensitivity. When Sword and Shield came out, I loved the concept of the wild area. But I also recognize that ever since if Pokemon is going to push into this direction, this whole wild area concept, they are going to have to completely change how you interact with wild Pokemon. They have to. Because otherwise it's going to feel super cheap and super like archaic and everything. They have to change it. A couple years later, we get Pokemon Legends Arceus. And it is a game made out entirely of Wild Area. It is Wild Area, the video game. And as a Wild Area video game, it is fantastic. They took everything I wanted the Wild Area in Sword and Shield to be, everything that I thought it could be, it is in Pokemon Legends Arceus. They fucking nailed it. Just the flow state you can get into when playing this game is unlike anything I've played in this franchise before. And it felt like that this right here is like the starting point to where like Pokemon should be going in the future. It is like, again, I know Arlo said this and I feel the same way. It is like the first time in this entire franchise where I have felt like the most connected to my identity as like a Pokemon trainer. And it all links back to just how like immersive and how much of a flow state you can get into in this game. Like, I use the word immersion a lot, especially like when I was watching Zeph play it like pre-launch, like the leaked copy. I was just like, I was so impressed by how much the game is constantly letting you stay in your character's shoes. So again, context sensitivity, taking away control. That's been the big theme of this year of like shit I've been complaining about in games. And this game never does that. Never. Even when you're in a battle, you are still in control of your trainer. You are still in control of your character. And it just adds... It adds so much more to the experience than I think people are even like willing to give credit for. Like, I remember they took it out in the new game, and I complained about it, and I saw other people complaining about it, and people would like go back and be like, it's not really that big of a deal, you know, it's just a different game. It's like, no, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. I don't know how you can play this game and not feel the difference. It feels so good to walk during a battle. Exactly. It feels so good to walk during a battle, to like move the camera around your character, to just like, it feels like you are the trainer. More so than ever before. You are the one issuing commands to your Pokemon. You can run away from the battle by just physically running away. You can start moving. As you notice the battle is wrapping up, you can just start moving and continue on your adventure and do whatever you want to do. And even outside of like the immersion aspect, they did a lot of really smart stuff to make wild Pokemon encounters more fun than they've ever been. So like, I talk about like the Horde battles, the Alpha Pokemon battles, the big boss battles. Again, there are trainer battles in this, but that's not really the point of the game. The point of the game is the wild Pokemon battles. And I feel like wild Pokemon battles are not uninteresting, but are definitely the least interesting battles in mainline Pokemon games. Like, you do wild Pokemon battles to grind for XP and catch Pokemon. And catching Pokemon can be kind of interesting, but once you catch that Pokemon, you're never going to want to catch them again. You know, you just want to get in there and grind for XP, which can still be fun, because like, I get very like immersed into Pokemon. I like to roleplay as my character more than any other role-playing game. So like, just the experience of grinding and giving my Pokemon like good stats and everything. Like, I perfect trained my Meowscarada, and I love doing it. I genuinely love doing it. But the wild Pokemon battles have definitely never been the most interesting part of a Pokemon game. You know, when you think of like interesting battles in Pokemon, you think of like Elite Four, or like some gym trainers, or like some post-game gyms or trainers and everything. Never the Gyarados that you found in the water, you know, that was never like a huge experience. But in Arceus, it is. That entire game is wild battles, and it's amazing. How did they do it? They completely expanded on the experience. It's fantastic. Now, I am gushing. But let's real quick get to some negatives. So some negatives. No multiplayer. I get it. They're doing like this new battle system and everything. They probably are worried that it wouldn't be like feasible to have multiplayer. But at that point, I say, just try it. You know? Like, you'll never know unless you try it. You should have just tried it. You should have just tried to have multiplayer. Oh my god, could you have imagined, like, Scarlet and Violet Union Circle in this game? Oh my golly gosh. Like, so yeah, I think that was definitely a missed opportunity. They should have absolutely tried multiplayer. And other than that, I think the story is kind of whatever. I personally did not care about any of the characters. I don't know about you guys. Never really got attached to any of them. But I never did the post-game story, so maybe I'm missing out. Ooh, going back to positives, I love the little town! I love the little town, all the side quests you can do, and how, like, you can kind of, like, add your own uniqueness to the side quests. And you can, like, give a side quest, a person wants a Pokemon, you can give them a shiny. And that shiny will be in the town forever. And it's amazing. Like, the side quests and everything, they, like, expand on the town, they change it permanently, and it's just so fun to do them. And there's, like, mini games and stuff. Woo! Arceus was such a good game. You know what? I'm doing it. It's the first one up there. It's the first one up there. Pokemon Legends Arceus is just, like, it is what I imagined, like, next-gen Pokemon gameplay feeling like. And I'm so disappointed that Scarlet and Violet took a step back. But I am praying Gen 10 is it. I am praying Gen 10 gives us Arceus level gameplay in a standard Pokemon format. I'm praying. I'm praying so much. Like, get the A-Team on Gen 10 and make it like this, and we'll have a good experience. Alright, you want to know what this game was? This game is Tealerland. This is a FNAF fan game that I played. I forget why I played these. I played a couple of FNAF fan games. I forget when or why, but I did. Oh, it was for FNAF's anniversary, I think. I think I played a couple for FNAF's anniversary. So, this was a very interesting FNAF game because it was trying to do, like, multiple rooms. Like, you had, like, the hallway, your office, and then, like, the backstage room. And the goal of the game was to get all of the animatronics into, like, cages by using a remote animatronic to, like, lure them in, like a remote lure animatronic to lure them into the cages. And it was pretty good. I think story-wise, it was kind of whatever. But gameplay-wise, I thought it was pretty good. I don't have too much to say about it, because it has been a while. But visually, it was fantastic. It had a really, really nice atmosphere, a really fun gameplay loop. Yeah, it was just a good time. I'd say it's an I enjoy. I enjoy. Again, it was a very short game, not a whole lot going on, so I don't have too much to say about it. And it has been a while since I've played it. Actually, does it belong up there then, if I don't really, don't really have much to say? Ah, fuck it. What was this game? It was a FNAF fan game. It was a FNAF fan game that we played. Alright. Giga Bash! It has been... I'm, like, out of breath already. That was a lot of... That was all... I thought that Arceus conversation took a lot out of me. Giga Bash. It's been a while since we had a kaiju game, let alone a good kaiju game. But Giga Bash is definitely one. I love basically everything about this game now. Every issue I had with this game was fixed in the patch they put out this month, where they added Godzilla, but also like an arcade mode, a survival mode, more quality of life features. What I love about this game is that it really plays it plays super well, but also plays into the fantasy still. Like, destroying buildings to gain meter, picking up like giant objects and launching them across the map at other players. Being able to turn into an even bigger monster once you fill up your meter. And just like generally the character design is like some of the best OC kaiju I've seen in a while. And of course they have like the Godzilla characters, and I'm sure they're going to add more. So many fun stages, so many fun stage hazards, so many fun party modes. The story mode is actually really good and has like unique gameplay scenarios that aren't just fighting. It's just like, I am shocked that this is an indie game, because this feels like what a AAA game would have been back in like the PS2 era. It's just so surprising to me that this is from a very, very small team. Because it is just a super duper polished, super fun experience. And I'm so sad more people don't play it, because ooh, that online is dead. Ooh, baby. Godzilla could not save it. That is a Discord looking for group kind of game. But I do very much love it, and I think it is a fantastic top-down kind of arena brawler. Like, super, like, in-depth, too. Like, I don't think people realize how, like, how deep that game is mechanically. Just with all the moves and the combos you can pull off, it is so much fun. Giga Bash, baby. Need more games like it. Okay. Oh boy. We'll listen to the music right now. If you hear it, what did Reggie say back when he revealed Donkey Kong? If you listen closely, you can hear it coming. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Kirby's first big 3D adventure. This is what we've been waiting for since the N64 era. Everyone played Crystal Shards and they're like, why isn't this like Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time? Why is this still a 2D side-scroller? And that continued for like 5 generations. There's nothing but non-stop 2D Kirbys. And I think the big thing, the issue they had, which I think is the issue I like agreed with, is that Kirby is meant to be a game for beginners. As much as like core gamers have come to love Kirby, like hardcore like game players have come to love Kirby, Kirby is supposed to be a beginner franchise. You can still like it as like a very like technical player, but it is, if a person coming into the video games for the first time can't play a Kirby game, I'd consider that a failure, personally. And so I think the issue they had with transitioning Kirby to 3D for a long time is that 3D games are extremely complicated and very alienating to people who have never picked up a controller before. Like, give someone who has never played a game in their life, like, a game with 3D camera control, and watch as they point the camera towards the ground and move in random directions. It doesn't work out. And so I think when people envisioned a 3D Kirby, they envisioned like a Mario Odyssey or a Breath of the Wild, but that was never going to happen because Kirby just can't, you can't do it. And so they ended up going for more of a 3D world route, which is like heavily scripted camera. Anytime the camera is more dynamic, it's completely game controlled. It's more of like a lock-on kind of camera. And, you know, you have like, you don't have like infinite flight, but you have enough to cross gaps and everything. And generally it's, I think they did the best they possibly could transitioning Kirby to 3D. I have seen people say it's like the smoothest transition to 3D like a 2D character's ever made. I would say yeah, but here's the kicker. is Kirby also took the least risks out of any of the other franchises. Like Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Metroid Prime, those were risk-taking games. Those were games that had the potential to completely alienate their audience. Forgotten Land is a Kirby game. It's the same Kirby game we've been playing for decades, except now it's in 3D. Now, that being said, you know me. I have Bandana D as my icon. I love the Kirby franchise. I loved Star Allies. I loved Robobot. I loved Triple Deluxe. I loved Return to Dreamland. I love Kirby. I love these Kirby games. But I was somewhat disappointed by this game. Not to say that the game is bad. The game is not bad. The game is very, very good, in fact. And I think it has like some of the best music and best levels we've had in a Kirby game since probably Return to Dreamland. But what disappointed me about this game is that even though it wasn't that much of a risk-taking game, there were a lot of elements that felt undercooked. I think the story was undercooked. It was a real shame that, like, you think about, like, Star Allies or Robobot or even, like, Return to Dreamland. That conflict is set up very early, and it is built upon throughout the entire experience. Even though, like, Kirby is not, like, a deep story, you still have, like, a build-up of that conflict throughout the entire game. Throughout all of Forgotten Land, I had no idea who I was fighting. Like, these animals just came out of the forest and started kidnapping the Waddle Dees, and that's kind of all the context you get. And then you just fight a bunch of animals until the very end, until, like, the very last level, where you finally get context for everything. So that was disappointing. It was disappointing to get that stuff only during the very last level. And then, another issue I had was honestly with the... What's the word? I guess post-game? You know, I know, like, not everything is going to carry over through every game, but there was a comforting feeling from Triple Deluxe to Star Allies that every Kirby game was going to have a really cool speedrun mode. And, you know, I played a shit ton of Star Allies in speedrun mode, so I was so excited about the prospect of Forgotten Land having, like, a Bandana D-focused speedrun mode. And it just never... It never happened. And I was so disappointed. And, like, if you play single player, if you never play co-op, you never get to play as Bandana D. It's like, what the fuck? Why me? Not even, like, Coliseum or anything. Like, at least in Return to Dreamland, if you are a solo player, you can still play as Bandana D in the Coliseum. You can't even play as him in the Coliseum. What if your favorite ability is Spear? You just can't use it because Kirby doesn't get Spear. It's Bandana D exclusive. So that was disappointing. And I mentioned this before. Forgotten Land is significantly more fun to play with the speed buff. Issue, you don't get the speed buff, you don't unlock speed buff until like 3/4 of the way through the game. And even once you get it, it is limited to 200 seconds per purchase. And you can only stack 5. And in order to stack 5, you have to go through the process of talking to the item shop person 5 times. You can't buy a stack. And talking to him, oh my god, it takes like, it's not that long, but it adds up as you keep doing it. And I don't understand why they didn't just make that the default speed and just completely ignored having a shop to begin with. Oh, it's so frustrating. Because it is so much more fun to play with the speed buff. Anyway. Also, this is just me. Kirby really needs rankings. I know, like, Kirby needs, after playing the mission mode in, like, Kirby Dream Collection, and also, like, the missions in Return to Dreamland, going for ranks in Kirby is so fun. It is so, so fun. And I really think we are at this point where every level in a Kirby game needs a ranking system. It does. We need, like, just something to promote interacting with every single thing in the level. And that's what ranking systems are for. Ranking systems are there to push people to play in, like, the most fun way. And so I really, really think that Kirby could use a ranking system. And I think this one, it had, like, the mission system, which was nice. And it would have been cool if, like, one of the missions was get a high score or something, or, like, get a certain score. That would have been fine enough, but, like, definitely going forward, I think Kirby's gonna need ranking systems, because I think it just adds so much to the game. Anyway, Kirby's an I enjoy. I'll put it, like, right here. It, unfortunately, didn't quite crack the top 2. I feel bad about it. I definitely feel bad about it, because it is a very, very good game. But for me personally, it didn't have the stuff that I came to Kirby for. It didn't have the speedrun mode. It didn't even have, like, an EX version of the adventure mode or anything like that. It just had, like, the really shitty post-game, like, collect 50 things per level. Didn't like that. Would have preferred an EX adventure mode. Again, it didn't even let me play as Bandana D. Come on. Ooh, my jam is on. Alright, Cuphead. I'll get a breather here for a second. Oh, what is there to say about Cuphead? I never finished it, but I did play a lot of the bosses. I'm halfway through the second island, and I have also fought a few of the DLC bosses. Just a heaping amount of fun. Just a heckin' amount of fun. It is a fun, difficult game. Boy howdy, Cuphead is a lot of fun. It's just so fun. It is a haven't finished but good, for sure. A beautiful game, amazing music, super tight controls, amazingly designed boss fights, lovable characters. The show sucks, but hey, the game is very good. Let me scroll down a little bit here. Oh, welcome! This is a sad one. This is a very, very sad one. Hannah recommended this game to me, and I love it. Unfortunately, after about 2 hours, I got to a quest or an objective. I don't know what I would call them, just like a thing you do in the game. What I love about this game is it's very, like, you have to intuit everything. It's not, you don't have, like, a quest log or, like, markers telling you where to go. You just arrive at an area and have to intuit how to do things in order to progress. And I love that. And Hannah knew I would love that. That's why she recommended it to me. Unfortunately, very, very sad about this. After about 2 hours, I arrived at a soft lock. I don't know why this is happening to me specifically, but for whatever reason, my version of the game just completely soft locks after a certain thing you do. and I cannot progress. So, unless one day that gets fixed, I don't know if it's like a hardware thing or like a save thing, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't go forward. And so I cannot continue with the game, which really sucks because I was really fucking enjoying it. So, I don't know. I don't know, but it is a haven't finished but good. I wish I could continue playing it, but I can't. I literally can't. Alright. Mario Strikers Battle League. Next time I'm there. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta do that. Mario Strikers Battle League. This is... I don't know how many games are going to be like this on this list, but this is the first in a series of very fun gameplay, very shit everything else kind of game. Because damn, I don't know about anybody else, but I have a good time when I am playing this game. When I am in a match, and I am playing a strikers match against someone else, I am having a good time. When I am sifting through the menus, when I am trying to choose my team, when I am putting on min-maxed gear, when I am dealing with the shitty ranking system, I am having a very bad time. I'm having a very, very bad time. When I'm playing on the same court forever, because there's only one court, I'm having a bad time. And it's such a shame because the animation's super nice, and the game is fun. But everything else drags the experience down so much. Just so much. And now they're done with updates. They didn't even, like, attempt to fix the actual issues with this game. They just put in more characters. They didn't even put in Petey Piranha. So lame. So lame. It is with a heavy heart that we have finally reached our first bad game. But which bad tier is it? It's bad, parentheses, soul, because those animations do go hard. And the music, whoo! Music go crazy! The X factor is the core game experience. It's just unfortunate that everything else about the game sucks. A little to the left! This is the game I finished recently. I finished it just in time to have it above haven't finished tiers. This is a very cute game. The way I've been describing it, this isn't in every level in the game, but the majority of the levels of the game play out almost like a jigsaw puzzle. But instead of jigsaw pieces, it is like household objects. And I think that's just like a super fun concept for a game. And the presentation, everything, like the way they have presented this type of game is just fantastic. Just like the art and the sound direction and the music, like everything about this package is just so nicely put together that I really have like no bad things to say about it other than some of the puzzles have a lot of pieces. Some of those jigsaw puzzles, they got a lot of pieces. Ooh-wee. How long is it supposed to be? Let me see how long it took me. It took me 3.5 hours. It took me 3.5 hours to finish the game. Not bad. Not bad for like a tiny indie game. Yeah, it is a very fun... I recommend it to people who would like this kind of game. I have very few bad things to say about it. It is definitely in the I enjoy tier. I might even put it above Tear of the Land. Why didn't you put above Smash Legends? Hmm. Valve Desk Job. This is a little like experimental game they put out to work as an introduction to the Steam Deck. However, I did not play it on the Steam Deck. I ended up playing it on just a normal PC, and it was okay. It was alright. It is a little crazy that they put in, like, actual Portal lore. Like, from what I understand, literally the story of this game is the story of F-Stop. What was going to be F-Stop. They just reused story beats from that game and put it in this little tech demo. Yeah, bro, sold. You know the whole Cave Johnson head thing? Like, big robotic head? That was a plot point that was going to be an F-Stop. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you remember, like, F-Stop was supposed to be a Cave Johnson game. F-Stop was going to be the next Aperture game, and it was going to be all about Cave Johnson. But it wasn't going to feature portals or anything. It was just going to be a new game set in Aperture. And that was one of the plot points, is that Cave Johnson was dead and uploaded his consciousness into a giant robot head. Yeah, I know about F-Stop, Mike. I know, but fucking Technoblast said he never heard of that before. I'm not talking specifically to you. You're not the only person in this chat. Anyway, it was fine. It was harmless. Above God of War. What is this noise? Hello? What is in my ear right now? Is this the music? Okay. Oh, shit. It's smelled in Ring. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. I mean, what do I have to say? What more do I have to say about Elden Ring? Just one of the most magical experiences I've had this year. Just like an absolute delight on pretty much every level. Just, it took the open air, open world from Breath of the Wild and fucking ran with it. Just like, oh my god, like if you played Breath of the Wild and you were disappointed about, like, you know, there weren't really a lot of cool dungeons and the combat kind of sucked, and you didn't really care about the puzzles, play Elden Ring. What you want is Elden Ring. Elden Ring is absolutely fantastic on, like, pretty much every level, except... What if you didn't like the noises? Well, Elden Ring definitely has less noises. That's for sure. Legitimately the only thing I don't like about Elden Ring is the ending, which is unfortunate. Again, for a game all about exploration, to kind of funnel you into 5 boss battles one after the other, a little shitty. A little shitty. But that's really the only complaint I have. Everything else about that experience was fantastic. And I continue to go back to it throughout the year. Like, pop in and do a couple of things. Do like a little PvPing, do a new run, do a new build, do some seamless co-op. Like, Elden Ring will be a game I continue to come back to for a long, long time. You think it'll actually get DLC? I mean, during the Game Awards, they said that they aren't done with Elden Ring. Like, they literally said they aren't done with Elden Ring, so I'm sure that we're gonna get DLC. I don't think that comment means Elden Ring 2. I think they were specifically referring to Elden Ring, the video game. Post Mountain of the Giants is one of the hardest fall-offs in any game I've ever played. I feel like the fall-off is at the boss of that final dungeon. I actually enjoyed that final dungeon, but once you get to, what is his name? Mechaliath? Something like that? The big wolf guy. The big wolf guy. Once you get to him, from him onward, sheesh. That's all I'll say about it. Whoosh, whoosh. I actually liked Mountain of the Giants. I actually liked doing the Mountain of the Giants. And, I liked the final dungeon. I just did not like the boss of the final dungeon or the final boss rush. I don't like it when a game predominantly about exploration ends with just like bosses back to back. Stop. Stop doing that. Don't do that. But I think everyone agrees with that. Everyone agrees that Elden Ring's fantastic, but that ending, dear God, why'd you do that? But despite that, I will not let that ending ruin 100+ hours of just pure magic. Just like a fucking fantastic video game from top to just before bottom. Just before bottom. And hey, if you never finished Elden Ring, I don't think that's a problem. I know a lot of people that played 200 hours of Breath of the Wild that never finished the game. That's fine. You know, it's all about playing it your own way. Just playing the game and getting out of it what you wanted. And then turning it off forever. Alright, Escape Academy. This one was a lot of fun. I remember Hannah played the demo of this, and she got like 10 minutes in, and then hard quit the demo because she wanted to save it for when the game came out. And it was a very, very enjoyable experience. You could definitely tell that the people who made it made real-life escape rooms because they did. That was confirmed. They were real-life escape room designers, and they made a game about escape rooms, and it was a heckin' lot of fun. They've had some DLC that we haven't touched yet, but like the main experience, it was fun. It wasn't too hard. I think it's like one of the main complaints we had is that like it never really got too difficult. But it was an enjoyable experience, and like if they ever put out like a big expansion, maybe like one day we'll go back to it and finish it up. And it's co-op. It's a co-op it's a cool co-op escape room game. It was a lot of fun. Not really much to say about it other than that. Oh yeah, that last puzzle in the final level. That was some bullshit. But it is an I enjoy. I would put it above Tealerland, but above Smash Legends. Not above a little to the left. Not above a little to the left. Nightfall. Something Rose Daring Journey. So this was a fun, I don't know if you guys remember this, but this was like that cute little 2-player battle royale that the Landfall team put out. on April Fool's Day. It was like a fun little April Fool's Battle Royale gift, where you play as 2 knights on a horse, and the horse drifts, and you have to race to the end of the map with other 2 knights on horse that also drift, and you have to race to a rose at the end. And when you get the rose, you fall in love with your fellow knight. And you have guns. Forgot that part. There's guns and magic and everything. And it was just like, it was a very simple, very fun premise that people played and enjoyed for a few months. And then it was over. And hey, you know what? That is perfectly fine. To play a game for a few months, have a lot of fun, have some good laughs, and then move on. It's a beautiful thing we don't get too often. And you know, people in the comments will be like, they abandoned the game, they don't update it anymore. Trash developers. But that's just Fortnite brain rot. Don't listen to them. I don't know if people still play this, but hey, even if they don't, everyone that did play it will cherish those memories forever about that very cool night game with the knights that were in love and the horse drifted and there were guns. Very good. You know what? I might actually have to throw you a curveball here. I think it's up here. I think it's in one of these 2 tiers. Because, like, I really don't have many issues with this game. Like, I don't play it anymore. I'm probably never going to play it again, but that's just because it's dead. I really don't have... I loved this game when I played it. I loved watching it. I loved playing it. I don't have any issues with this. I might honestly put it up here. I would agree everyone loved it. Yeah, this game was amazing. Yeah, Nightfall. Very, very fun. I would recommend it, but it's probably dead. Actually, let me look it up. Let's see. Theme charts, Nightfall. A daring journey. 7 people playing right now, 36-hour peak. Hey, if you all matchmake at the same time, you can maybe get into a match. I think the max lobby size was like 12 people? So, like, you could play it. You could. Ooh. Alright, the one and only Playdate game I felt comfortable putting on this list. Crankin' presents Time Travel Adventures. So this is like the game that made me want to get a Playdate. And it definitely did not disappoint, but it also took a long ass... It is... I did not expect it to be a rage game. I thought it was going to be a very cute, very chill experience. But then it turned into fucking I Wanna Be the Guy. And that was unexpected, to be sure. But I will say, very, very cool concept. I love the Playdate. I love, like, the games we're getting on the Playdate that use the crank in interesting ways. And I think the way this game uses the crank is very cool. Again, it comes down to, like, the precise nature of the crank. Feels, like, really unnatural at first, because we're not used to that kind of precision in, like, our analog controls. We're used to, like, a little bit of drift here, a little bit of nonsense there, not really having it exactly where you want it to be. Which is, like, it controls really well, and it's the kind of game I would love to see more of. Like, the idea of, like, it's almost like a cartoon. Like, it's almost like a playable cartoon. Where you control the pace of the character with the crank. It's very, very neat, very well made. I just wish it wasn't so difficult. I wish it was a bit more gimmicky than difficult. I never finished it because it is a rage game, and I am not very patient with rage games. So that is solidly in the haven't finished but good tier, because I do think it is good. Disney Dreamlight Valley. This came out of nowhere. I expected this to be some dog water, honestly. I went into this thinking like, haha, they're doing Animal Crossing, that's so funny. That game's gonna be bad. And then I fucking was obsessed with it for a week. Yeah, and it was made by Gameloft. I saw Gameloft developing Disney Animal Crossing and went, LMAFO, haha, good one, guys. And then I ended up loving it. Who would have thunk it? It isn't quite as good as Animal Crossing. Obviously, like, the simulator aspects aren't really super there. But what I love about this game is actually, like, the writing. I really loved the writing. I loved depressed Mickey. I love how, like, upset Mickey was all the time. We're like, oh, fuck. I fucking miss Minnie, bro. Do you want to go on a date? That was hilarious. And just, like, the environment and just, like, the way you, like, your character moved and everything, it all felt really nice to... It was a nice place to be in. Obviously... Don't hate me, guys, but, like, I like Disney characters. I like Disney characters and I like Disney worlds. Please don't hate me. But as fans of many of these characters, I was very impressed with how respectful the dialogue and everything was. Like, no one felt like a parody, and no one also felt like a cheap imitation, you know? It felt very genuine, all the character interactions. And I really, really liked it. And they put out a Toy Story update. I've been meaning to go back to it, but obviously, the end of the year decided to throw a million games at me, and movies. That, like, this is a game I'm putting on the back burner for now, until I have more time to play it. Because even, like, Pokemon, I want to play more Pokemon, but I can't justify it when I have so many other games to be playing. I need a perfect IV my team! I don't know if I would say I haven't finished but good, because you can't finish these kind of games. They're literally meant to just exist for when you need them. But I think I will put it in an I enjoyed tier. I will put it... Where do I want to put it on here? Actually, hold on. Where do I put these? No, that's fine. This is fine. This is fine. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Alright, we're good. You know what? I was honestly expecting this to be the entire stream. But we're almost like... We're getting there. We're definitely getting there. Rogue Legacy 2. This is probably the one game on this list that I played the least. I did a couple of runs on Steam Deck, and it controls super duper good. Like, the controls are amazing. It plays amazing on deck. It is a very cool, like, 2D action side-scroller. I'm not too invested in it. Like, I don't know when or if I'll ever go back to it, but it was fun when I played it. I didn't see much of it, but it was very fun when I played it. I think it's good. I think it's probably good. It looks really nice. I was very impressed by the visuals, because I know they said they were switching to 3D models over 2D sprites. But you really don't miss them. You really don't. Like, the game looks fantastic. And yeah, it's cool. I'm sure if you were a Rogue Legacy fan, you'd be really into it. Wait, what? Did you not know that? Are those 3D models? Yeah. Those are 3D models. The character sprites? Yeah. Dude, Soul got fooled. Actually fooled. Insane. You got pranked, bro. Okay. Nintendo Switch Sports. If you have been following my channel, you know that I played this quite a bit, and I loved playing it. I went on a Wii Sports kick. Do you guys remember my Wii Sports kick? When I brought out Resort and we played Resort for a bit, and I had so much fun, and we fucking played the sword fighting minigame all day? Nintendo Switch Sports is disappointing in the sense that it is not nearly as ambitious as Wii Sports Resort, but I don't think it's bad. I think a lot of people hate this game more for what it isn't, whereas I like it for what it is. And I think what it is it took Wii Sports and made it for a more online environment. And, you know, as someone that predominantly plays games online, I really appreciate that. What the fuck? I actually got scared. This is not music. This is sound effects. Who died? And you know, I know, oh my jam. My family loved playing this game together, and I loved playing it by myself online with, like, random people. And you know, I fell off eventually, but you know, again, I feel so bad for multiplayer games because I think, like, there's no clear exit for multiplayer games. Like, you know, a single player game, you have your clear exit, which is the credits. You get to credits and you can say, I enjoyed that game, I clap. Good game. And then you put it away and you never play it again. And no one ever questions it. No one's like, oh, you're not playing God of War 2014 anymore? Must be a dead game, huh? You know what I mean? Whereas, like, multiplayer games, if no one plays your game after, like, 3 months, you're fucked. You are forever considered a failure if that happens. And that is so sad. And so, like, I played this for, like, a month, maybe 2. And honestly, I think that's just fine. I had a lot of fun those 2 months. I played a lot of soccer. I loved volleyball, actually. I loved the sword fighting. I loved tennis. I loved doing bowling knockout. I had a really good time with this game. And it was very pretty. The music was great. Like, I don't think people mentioned that. The music in this game was, like, surprisingly great. It was a good time. It was a good 2 months. So I will put it... Actually, I will put it here. Just below Kirby. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Alright, Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. So this is a expansion to the original Stanley Parable. Released many, many years later that adds a few more endings. And also is just the same game, more or less, just with a few more endings. And it has my same issues I had with the original game, which is... I don't like how much it pushes you to constantly seek out new endings once you have seen them all. Like, I get the whole point is there's no true ending, but the fact that you can see all of the potential endings, and once you watch the final one, it still resets you. And you never really... Like, the ending of the Stanley Parable experience is trying to find an ending, like desperately trying to find an ending after you've seen them all, and eventually just giving up and realizing that you're probably done with the game. And that's a really bad impression to take at the very end of your experience, I think. And the Ultra Deluxe package does basically nothing to alleviate that feeling. That sucks. And that's really my biggest issue with this game. And otherwise, it's just like, it's fine. There's some humor in there. Obviously, yeah, if you don't like the voice, you're not gonna like this game, because that's pretty much the entire experience. It feels a lot like FNAF VR, almost. It feels a lot like FNAF VR in the sense that there's not a lot of stakes to anything you're seeing. So a big issue I had with FNAF VR is what I just said. There's a segment in one of the vent levels. What's it called? The Ennard Vent Repair Nightmare version, where Ennard launches himself at your little elevator shaft, and you fall, and you hear, like, it fades to black, and you hear a big thud. And, like, that's super cool, but it does not lead to a thing. Because it's just a minigame. It's not actually, like, a cool story beat that leads to something. And that kind of feels like the same thing with this game. It's like, cool stuff happens, but there's no stakes. There's no, like, whoa, what is this gonna mean for the like, the rest of my experience? It doesn't mean anything. If you like, that whole thing with, like, you know, you spend thousands of years in a room, like skipping time. Like, you press a button to, like, hibernate and skip through thousands of years, and you end up in, like, this wasteland where everything was destroyed. It literally means nothing. There's no significance to that moment, other than just being, like, maybe a cool visual. And so that's kind of my issue with it. Anyway, it's okay. Yeah, above God of War. Put that above God of War. V Rising. This is a top-down vampire survival game. The only reason I played this is because Warchamp gave me a beta code. I played the beta of this, and I think it is okay. I think it's actually alright, in fact. But I am not a survival game kind of guy, so I did not play it too much. It has some neat mechanics, it has some neat vampire mechanics. Obviously, you can't stay out in the daytime. You have to drink blood from living things in order to survive and all that, yada yada yada. You have cool vampire powers, there's some PvP if you want PvP, or you can, like, join a non-PvP world or something. There's some neat stuff in there. Progression's a bit too linear for my liking. It's very, like, do this thing. Okay, you did that? Now do this thing. Now you have to do this thing to get this vampire power so you can do this thing. Wish it was maybe a bit more open, but that's just how it is. But yeah, it's okay. I'll give it a solid it's okay above God of War. Not really too much to say, I didn't play it too much. Okay, whew! Talked a lot more about Stanley Parable than I thought I would. Hey guys, we're finally filling in that gap! Can you believe it? Multiverses. I think Multiverses is such a cool and creative game. I am so tired of every Smash-style game releasing and being like, look at how technical and cool our game is. Look at how many buttons you can press in such a short amount of time. Look, we have wave dashing. Just like Melee. You guys like Melee, right? And then Multiverses comes in here and is like, hey, if you play as Taz and you hit people with your salt shaker enough times, they turn into a chicken. It's like, yes! Yes! Thank you! Thank you for doing something cool and unique! Fucking finally! And that's what I really love about this game, is this game, it takes the concept of a platform fighter and actually does something cool and unique with it, and isn't just trying to copy what people already like about platform fighters. And I really respect that, and that's also a big reason as to why it's not latching on as much as it probably should be. Because, like, I've been watching a bunch of tournaments recently. People are getting really fucking good at this game. Like, tournaments are becoming really fun to watch. But I think the reason it is here, and the reason it's subjective, is there is not a significant lack of polish, but a lack of polish nonetheless. We are still experiencing, like, characters flying through each other while they're both throwing out hitboxes, which should not be happening under any circumstance in any fighting game. If we are both flying at each other with hitboxes active, someone should get hit. But more often than not, in multiverses, nothing happens. That interaction does not happen. Movement could definitely use some work. Hitboxes could definitely use some work. Collision could really use some work. And those servers, they gotta fix those servers, bro. So, and obviously we need more stages, we need more items and everything, we need more single player options. Where we are right now is we are in just the very, like, I believe multiverses will eventually be a big deal. But right now, right this very moment in time, we are still in, like, a beta phase. Which we are. It's still technically in beta. It's still in early access. Although we are paying for it. Which sucks. But, you know, I think eventually, hopefully, eventually, they will polish the fuck out of this game, and it will be, like, the second biggest one. I don't think it'll ever eclipse Smash, but it will be the second biggest game right alongside Smash as a series. I think so. Because I think this game has just, like, so much potential. And they just have to capitalize on it. Klonoa I unfortunately never finished, but I want to. It's on my Steam Deck still. But it is a delight. It is a delightful game. It is a very soulful game. This game is like, Klonoa as a character is just like peak soul, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's such an, like, this was like, when I played this was at a time where, like, I think I was frustrated with another game or something. And playing this one was just, like, so calming. It's just like, yes. Games are a labor of love. True. People have passion for this industry. Yes. I love it. And so that was really nice. And so one day I would like to hopefully go back and, like, finish both of these games. But, until then, I think it's very good, and I like it a lot. But I can't put it above this tier, because I didn't finish it. Stray. Ooh. You know, the further we get out from my experience with Stray, the more and more I appreciate this game. Just, like, as a game, but also as just, like, a piece of art. Just, like, the more distance I get from my experience, the more I respect the craftsmanship that went into this experience. And just how much, like, love and passion was poured into this project. And just how, just, like, good it is. Just, like, actually, like, fantastic this game is. Just, like, everything from, like, the way the cat controls, to the story that I had to have explained to me because I'm big dumb, to the world design, to the music, to the audio design, to, like, the actually fun chase sequences and, like, stressful sequences. Your dad pulled that "did it need to be the cat the other day" and you let loose? Did it need to be a cat? Did it need to have Batman in it? Yeah, Stray again, I feel so bad for this game because people see the cat and automatically think it's like pandering. Like, oh, they're just pandering to cat people. But they don't. Oh! It's like people are like knocking off points because they think it's pandering, when that feels so unfair. It's so unfair to this game because this game is just so lovingly put together. Like, everything about this game is fantastic. I don't even... You guys already know where it's going. You guys already know where it's going. Come on. It's up there. Stray is one of the best games of the year and deserved its nomination at the Game Awards. It absolutely deserved it, and it deserved its win as the best indie game of the year. So did Tunic, but they both deserved it, so... Yeah, Stray is absolutely fantastic, and I recommend everyone play it. Going from one of the best games of the year to one of the worst. Do I even need to say it? That's Disney Speedstorm, by the way. I don't know if you can see the Disney logo in there, but that is Disney Speedstorm. Easily one of the worst games I played this year. What an absolute tire fire. Just like, first off, you have to race in like 20 CPU races before you can even play online, which is the entire point of the game. And once you do, you can't even like... AKA, oh yeah, that was in a direct, right? Yeah. I thought maybe it could have been funny, from like an ironic standpoint, because they have like all the edgy music and everything. But it just isn't fun. It just unfortunately is not fun. It is very much like, again, this is by Gameloft. When I saw the Gameloft logo again, I'm just like, oh haha, yeah, right. I can't believe this game. I can't believe Dreamlight Valley and Speedstorm are the same studio. Genuinely, like, what the fuck? How is like such a drastic shift in quality between these two products? Just like insane. Anyway, we're going back up. We're going back up though, because we finally, after all of these years, got a true sequel. A true sequel to the classic arcade game TMNT Turtles in Time. And it is glorious. What a beautiful, super well-designed video game. God. Oh, I want to gush about it so bad. But I'm getting very lightheaded from all the talking I'm doing. But just like, just the drop-in, drop-out multiplayer that like anyone can join you at any moment, replicating the experience of like classic arcade games where someone would just sit next to you and pop in a quarter and just, you're just playing and all of a sudden fucking Splinter falls from the sky and you're like, yes! Yes, now Splinter's on my team, let's go! And just like, the gameplay that is just like perfectly balanced. Like none of the moves feel overpowered or underpowered. Like everything has a use. Like every character feels fun to play. And even though there's like not a whole lot of like unique moves, every character still feels unique. Ah, God, just like, it is the best beat 'em up we've had in a long, long time. We don't get many good beat 'em ups, but this one is just like absolutely insane. And also the music. You don't even need, you know? You know what I'm saying? Okay, Gundam Evolution. What? What? It's okay. Better than God of War. It's just it was like it's Overwatch, but without all the lessons Overwatch learned, and also terrible matchmaking, and also no Genji, so I sleep. Rabbids Party of Legends. I didn't realize the two Rabbids games are right next to each other. We haven't had a good Rabbids party game in forever. Like, I'd say probably the last good Rabbids minigame collection was Rabbids TV Party. And even then, that wasn't fantastic. And sadly, the trend continues. This was developed by, I think, Ubisoft's Chinese studio. They have like a new Chinese studio, and they made this game, which obviously takes a lot from Chinese mythology. And personally, not super into Chinese mythology, so thematically this game is already a dud for me. But if it had very polished, very cool mini games, I maybe would have enjoyed it. But unfortunately, there's some fun mini games in there. There's some like creative ideas, but there's a general lack of polish across the board. That it feels like a budget game. It feels very much like a very budget experience, and like there are so many better party game offerings nowadays. There's really no reason to even like consider picking this up unless you're a Rabbids fan like I am. So I feel bad doing this. I feel bad doing this. But is there any incest in Chinese mythology? Is that any of the Chinese gods fuck each other? I don't know. We'll do this because I did not finish it. Did not even get close. Feel bad, Rabbids, but this series has dropped so far from its heydays on the Wii. It's very upsetting. Like, I say this, I'm a big Rabbids fan. I loved the Rabbids growing up, and I still like them as characters today. You can put God of War down there. I could. But yeah, at like Raving Rabbids 1, Raving Rabbids 2, TV Party, Rabbids Go Home. Those are like the 4 only good Rabbids games, and they're all on Wii. We have not had like a truly good mainline Rabbids game for 2 generations. Potentially 3 now, because we've gone further than that with the new PlayStation Xbox. It's just like, it feels like they stopped putting their A game on Rabbids after Rabbids Go Home. It's very sad to me. I'm happy Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle came out, but still, like, I wish Rabbids proper got the attention and love it used to get back on the Wii. Because right now, ever since Rabbids Go Home, it feels like it's just been, like, shovelware and, like, TV spin-offs and comic spin-offs and fucking NFTs because it's fucking Ubisoft. It's just like, where'd the love go? Where'd the love go? Speaking of where'd the love go, did you guys see that tweet last night? It wasn't from last night, but my tweet responding to it was from last night. Oh, God. Oh, my God. So the truth come out. So Hannah, if you didn't notice, there was a thread. I took a snippet from a thread, but the thread was basically the director of Mario Rabbids saying he did not like how the Rabbids were portrayed in the beginning. And that the Rabbids have, quote, calmed down now. It's like, okay. Sure, dude. Bowser's calmed down now. He's not a bad guy anymore. He's calmed down. Sorry, everybody that liked evil Bowser, but Bowser's calmed down now. Ooh, okay. I'm okay. I'm alright. So, Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. a sequel to what I would consider an S tier Switch game. I would. Like Kingdom Battle, I would consider an S tier Switch game. Like that released the same year as Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild and Xenoblade 2. And I would say Kingdom Battle stands alongside them as being just like a fantastic launch year Switch game. And just like this sequel is technically better. You know, it is technically a better game. It has more options. It has more depth. And yet, I like it significantly less. Not to say that I don't like it, because liking an amazing game significantly less is still good. But as a fan of both Mario and Rabbids, I genuinely don't see the crossover anymore, you know? Like Mario Rabbids 1 was like, I call it the most pure, perfect crossover. Because you could take it as a Rabbids game, and you can also take it as a completely Mario game. But like, together they mesh so perfectly. Like, it was a perfect mesh, that first game. Whereas this game, Sparks of Hope, it feels like they tried to OC it, and the OC stuff went too far, to the point where it overshadows both the Mario and Rabbids elements. Like, I remember, like, I watched a video where like, they were talking about Mario Rabbids, not the developer, but somewhat like a talking head video. It's about, like, what are Rabbids bringing to the table here, you know? Like, this is not, like, an equal sharing, like, crossover. Like, what are Rabbids bringing to the table where Mario isn't? And it's like, what is Mario bringing to this table, you know? What about this experience is Mario? Because, like, I don't, like, what, a Goomba? There's a Goomba in it? Sure, I guess. But, like, that first game was just, like, such a perfect marriage between those two properties into a tactical strategy game. Like, that game shouldn't have worked, but it did. And this game tries to shove its unique, original stuff in your face, and it drowns out both Mario and Rabbids as a result. And it's upsetting. It's upsetting to me personally, as a fan of both Mario and Rabbids. Like, I love both of these series, and I don't see the love and passion for either of them in this game. It seems like a game made by people with contempt for the source material. Exactly. That's exactly what I've been saying. Like, it feels like it was made by people that did not... You know when you see, like, a reboot or a... Like, I remember, like, the Powerpuff Girls. When they fucking did the Powerpuff Girls reboot, and the writers were like, yeah, we actually, like, we added a lot more depth to the Powerpuff Girls, you know? Like, before they just fought things, but this time around we added a lot more depth. It's like, no, you fucking didn't! We can, like, when you say that stuff, we can see it. Like, whenever, like, I see stuff about this in, like, games, like, I always go back to, like, articles and be like, what the fuck were they thinking? And every single time, they were thinking they were hot shit. You know? Like, go back to those old, like, Steel Wool articles and interviews. Bro, they thought they were hot shit. Dude, they were like, dude, this game's like 10 times bigger than we even thought we were gonna make it. Like, this game is gonna be heat. You guys are gonna love this shit. Like, bro, schematics? Dude, schematics? And then you play the game, it's like, what the fuck were you hyped up about? That's why I'm worried about that Last of Us TV show now. Like, the fucking shit that guy said, like, the director of the Last of Us TV show said about the video game. Like, oh, dude, oh no, this is gonna be bad, isn't it? I already feel it. Yeah, the Halo TV show, the DMC reboot, and now Sparks of Hope. And it sucks. It really sucks because it is a better game from, like, the battle perspective. Like, it is better, but I'm not enjoying it more. And I think, like, games like this are, like, perfect examples of how, like, raw mechanics do not make a game. They just don't. Like, you might look at games and view them as just, like, this raw, very cold, kind of, like, mechanics are king experience. But, like, a game like this, to me, proves that, like, a good gameplay loop is not enough. It just isn't. And so, I hate to do it. It's definitely at the top. It's like just, I haven't finished it. Maybe by the end I'll love it, I don't know. But at this very moment in time, it's right in the middle. And I feel, oh, I hate it. I hate that it's there. I want to move it up by pure spite, you know? I want to move it up, but I can't. Oh! Ugh. So frustrating. It's like, if we were doing this tier list back when the Switch came out, and we were talking about Kingdom Battle, it would have been right here. It would have been right here. But we're not talking about that game, we're talking about this game. Gameplay is king when you're not making 50% of your game's story. That too. That too. That too. Alright, High on Life. I could talk about Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope for like days, but I don't want to. I'm already out of breath from fucking Pokemon Arceus. Like, we're almost done. We got one more row. And then we're done. Let's get through this. I have not finished High on Life, but I am enjoying it so far. Now, disclaimer, I get it. I get it. I get people's issue with the dialogue. I 100% understand and agree. But, it doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would. And I am loving pretty much everything else about the game. Like, the world design, the gameplay, just like, the voice acting's pretty good even though the dialogue sucks. And just like, the bosses and everything, and just like, this world they've created, and the, like, ugh. And just like, the weird shit, like, the weird shit they put in, like, there's a whole ass movie in this game. Like, you can sit in your house and just watch a movie from like 1990. Why? Like, that's so weird, but it's that kind of weird shit that like I really like. Like, I'm not gonna sit down and watch that movie, but I'm happy you put that movie in the game because it's such a fun, weird thing to do. Like, you have a TV, put stuff on the TV. Kind of reminds me of one of those weird OG Xbox exclusives. Yeah, it does feel like an old school kind of game, like early 3D, not like early 3D, but like just after early 3D, you know? It's just like, I kind of mentioned this somewhat on Japan Time, but one thing I really want to nail home here is that so many shooting games just have like such boring weapons. Just like, when I think of like, whenever a shooting game is like touting that has cool shit in it, that cool shit is almost never the actual weapons. It's always like, dude, like, our shooting game has like a double jump, or like, dude, our shooting game has like a grapple hook on your arm. It's really cool. Like, dude, my shooting game has like shields and stuff and everything. Or like, dude, my shooting game, you could like throw smoke out or something, and then you could like teleport up top to this box or something with that. Like, the guns themselves are never the fun part, which I feel like they should be. Cause like that's the whole, like, think about like old 2D shooters like Mega Man or Contra. The whole, like, the thing that was fun about them was the variety of weapons and how cool and creative they got. And like, you don't really see that with 3D shooters. It's just like standard stock, like SMG, AR, sniper, shotgun. It's all that. But like this game is genuinely, like, I'm not saying it's as good as Mega Man, but it's 3D Mega Man. Like, you have these guns that have these super unique properties, like the buzzsaw that bounces off of walls and can stick into soft surfaces that you can use as platforms. What? That's so cool! And what's cool about it is that the bosses you fight have these guns. So you fight the boss and then you get the gun that has the power like Mega Man! Dude! That's so cool! Wait, so X7 but good? Maybe. I don't know. Is X7 that 3D Mega Man X game? Yeah. Yeah. If you don't play this game because of the dialogue, I 100% understand. I get it. I 100% get it. And I don't blame you. But I'm not finding it as insufferable as most people are. Because, like, I like interdimensional cable. It's not as good as interdimensional cable. But, you know. I push through it because the world is amazing. Like, the world design is just, like, fantastic. The level design's great. The guns are fun to use. I like the two main characters, like your sister and the bounty hunter guy. The dialogue there is actually not insufferable. It's not great, but it's more grounded. It's a neat game that, even in spite of the dialogue being terrible in most cases, I am happy it got made. I'm happy that a game like this can still exist today. And just be weird and not appeal to the majority of people, you know? I'm happy that a game like this can exist. And so, I will put it up here, just above Rogue Legacy. Culty! Culty is a very, very cool video game that I enjoyed a lot. I'm about to say some negative stuff, but before I say that negative stuff, please know that I really loved this game. I really, really did. Now, unfortunately, it's not that it gets bad near the end, it's just that I think it eventually runs out of steam. It eventually stops introducing cool new things, and yet it expects you to continue playing much longer. And so, like, I was really enjoying building up my cult. That part's fantastic. I enjoyed the first two dungeon areas. That was a lot of fun. And, like, exploring the new mechanics and everything, and trying to, it was fun, like, dealing with all your cult members and trying to, like, balance out their faith and everything. But eventually, I'd say, like, about halfway through the third dungeon, everything felt solved, you know? Like, I never felt challenged ever again at that point, and it kind of stopped introducing new tasks or challenges for me to overcome. And so, at that point, I kind of just wanted it to be over. At that point, like, if you watch me stream it, you know I, like, basically rushed through the last dungeon into the final boss. Because there was no reason for me to stick around at that point. I was done with the game. I was done seeing cool new things, and the cult system was not challenging me enough for me to feel too super invested in it. And yeah, so I just rushed through it, beat the game, said thank you very much, I will be on my way. 2 thumbs up, which, spoilers, that's where it is going. It's up there. It's up there, but it doesn't quite peak. It doesn't quite peak, unfortunately. But it is super cool. Don't ever think I'm gonna say it's a waste of time, because it's not a waste of time. It has the X factor is so strong, and it carries the game until it doesn't. So that's where it is. That's where it is. Whew. I've not talked this much in a long time. How do people do it? How do people talk this much all the time? Ooh, okay. Splatoon 3 is prepared for launch. So, I love Splatoon. I think we all love Splatoon here. And Splatoon 3, I would say, is undoubtedly the best Splatoon. It is the most fun to play consistently. It has the best story mode. It has amazing music. It has a super fun, like, events with the Salmon Run Big Rush and the new Splatfests. It has, this might be controversial, the best group. The best singing group. It has such a cool hub. It has a fun, like, side mode with the cards. Like, it is Splatoon firing on all cylinders. Except for Nintendo servers. Nintendo servers are kind of shit in the bed. But, outside of that, this is Splatoon firing on all cylinders. And I think it deserves to be up here. I wish Nintendo would finally fucking get with it and give us servers, especially because we are paying for this service. Can we get some proper dedicated servers for our multiplayer shooters? Please. But other than that, I really have, like, nothing to complain about. Again, like, is it worse than 2, the disconnects? I don't know. I mean, it's better in the sense that, like, I can, like, train while I'm queuing, I guess. The launch was def worse than 2, yeah. They've been ironing it out a little bit, but, like, it's still not great. It's not where it should be. Alright. Yeah, what do I need to say about Splatoon? Also, real quick, fantastic lore. Probably some of the best writing, like, I've ever read in a game this year. Like, genuinely, I enjoy Splatoon 3's lore more than Elden Ring's lore. Full stop. Like, fantastically written backstory for this world they've set up. Like, I feel like sometimes when you get the truth, you know, it can kind of take away the magic from the world. I think learning the truth here actually enhanced the world. I love the lore they wrote for this game. It's fantastic. Alright, Hyper Demon. This one's for the Artors of the world. This one's for the very highly sophisticated game players. This one is for the this one is for the people that still to this day only play SNES games. Ah, yes. Truly a classic. And I am not one of those people, unfortunately. I love games, but maybe eventually when I get older and I get sick of AAA, but Are these all the games you've played this year? Yeah. These are all the games I've played this year. Hyper Demon is a super duper hardcore niche experience. Like, even more niche than like Ultra Kill or anything like that. It is a game that truly, like, the most... How do I put this? This is like for the fucking people that played Donkey Kong for high scores kind of thing. If you played Donkey Kong for high scores, this is your kind of game. I'm struggling to describe this game because, bro, you have to, hold on, look at it. Hold on, just look at it. Let me give this to you. Ready? I'm not gonna say anything about this. Just look at it and understand my placing. Ah, yes. Do you understand now? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Do you get it? Do you get it now? Have you understood? Everyone's like, ah, yes. It's crazy though. You want to know what's actually fucked up about this game though? Is as messy as it looks when you're watching it, once you play it, it is like the most information I've felt in a first-person shooter. Like, full stop. When you are in that experience and you actually play it and understand it, you know everything that's happening at any given time. It is so cool. That's like the biggest compliment I could give it. I like it. I'm not super into it because I'm like super hardcore like that. But I do think it is super cool. I wish I need a tier for like games I think are objectively great, but I'm not super into, you know? Maybe I'd do a tier. Hold on, we're adding a tier. Hold up. No, it's not true. That feels negative. There. Oh god. Do I have to say anything about this? Do I have to? Bro, I've said everything. I've said everything I could. I did a review on it on Tumblr. Go read my review. Do I have to? Yes. I just don't know what else I could say that's like new. That isn't just me repeating myself from older streams or Twitter or fucking read out my Tumblr review. That's a long review. Hey, all I'll say is, I found out yesterday that everyone involved in making Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Generations Fantastic now work at Nintendo, and worked on Breath of the Wild and Odyssey. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I think needs being said. I'm putting it in... Okay. The boss battle was kind of cool, but I don't think they carry it up to Soul Tier. I genuinely don't anymore. I was blinded by the music when I first played it. I don't think it carries it anymore. I think it's bad, parentheses, no soul. I do now. I think this game is just bad. There are basically, like, outside of a couple of songs that aren't even that amazing, they're just like fun songs, there are no redeeming qualities to this game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sonic fans. I know Sonic fans are very excited about this game. In my personal opinion, there are like no redeeming qualities to this experience. Not even the writing? Especially not the writing! Whoa, that's like Dark Gaia! I haven't fought a robot this strong since Mecha Sonic! Wow, I wonder if Surge is making that lightning. Alright, Among Us VR. I played this for a couple of rounds. It was okay. Better than God of War, though. Actually, I liked it more than V-Rising. So Among Us VR is, I think, where Among Us should go. I've mentioned this a couple times. I personally prefer 3D Among Us to top-down Among Us, because I think it adds to the kind of comedic horror vibe Among Us is going for. But yeah, exactly what Hannah said. Currently, Among Us VR is an early access game disguising itself as a released game. It is not a fully fleshed out experience yet compared to the classic Among Us experience. And that's disappointing. And yeah, I say this every time, every single VR game released is competing with VR chat. You have to realize that if you're making a standalone VR game, is you are competing, you are trying to take people away from VR chat, and that is a harrowing experience. Good luck doing that. If you are making a standalone VR game in today's age, you are brave. Good stinking luck. I have never seen a single game dominate a platform as hard as VR chat dominates virtual reality. Like, for real. It's insane. Ah, finally a good game. Jesus. We talked about this recently. Bendy and the Dark Revival. So I was thinking about this the other day. I feel like why I like this game so much is because it feels like a really cool theme park ride. Like, mechanically, this game is not super interesting. Like, it's not like, whoa, the combat's really good, or that puzzle was very intellectually stimulating. It's none of that. It is a very, very fun theme park ride. And I don't say that negatively. I actually say that very positively, because not many games nail this kind of feeling of just like being a fun experience to go through. And I think, honestly, whoa. I'm sorry, Okami. I'm really fucking sorry about this. I'm about to let go of my mouse. Gong. There we go. I really, like, especially after Ink Machine was kind of like, it was okay. The huge improvements they made to Dark Revival were extremely impressive. What the fuck? I thought you liked sexism. Hey, hold up. Let's calm down now. Alright. Please don't get mad at me for this. Please, guys, please don't get mad at me for this. Pokemon Violet. I had an insanely fun time with this game. It is a disappointing game. It is a broken game. It is a unpolished game. But I had an insanely enjoyable time with it. I played this for like 3 weeks, and I'm gonna keep playing it more. I had so much fun with this game. I loved it. That's a strong word. I really liked it. And I please do not get mad at me. Please don't. Please don't. It's there. It's there. It belongs there for me. I'm putting it there. That's where I'm putting Pokemon Violet. That's not fair. I contributed to this. I'm taking 60% of the credit. True! Playing the game with Hannah actually added to my experience tenfold. But it's still, yeah, it's there. It's here because I love Hannah so much. This is why it's up here. Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2. Alright, guys. So I mentioned when Overwatch 1 went down that it was one of my favorite games. And it's true. It's true. I love Overwatch. I have a print of Genji right there above my nightstand. He watches over me as I sleep. He protects me. I love Overwatch's world. I love its vibe. I love the characters. I love the gameplay. I love the aesthetic. I love the music. It is in one of my top 10. It is one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. I love Overwatch. Overwatch 2 is a mixed bag. Because I think the switch to 5v5, while rough in the beginning, I think will genuinely lead to a better experience down the line. I love tanking in this game. I love healing. I love DPSing. I love the new heroes. I love Ramatra. I love Sojourn. I love Junker Queen. I love Kiriko. Like, Kiriko's my new main healer now. I like the new maps. I'm very excited about the story mode. But Overwatch 1 was a trendsetter. We are still feeling the reverberations of Overwatch 1 to this day. I don't think people realize how many games have taken inspiration from Overwatch. Overwatch 1, when it came out, was the hot shit. It was hot shit that everyone wanted to be. And with Overwatch 2, instead of being a trendsetter, it became a trend chaser. And I think that has had a very damning impact on the entire experience. From the battle passes to the store, everyone seems very upset with how this game is handling its systems. Can I scroll to the top? Yeah, sure. So, it's so frustrating. Because I do think gameplay-wise the game is better. It is more focused, it is less bullshit. Like, all the annoying stuff is gone, but you still have the spirit of a lot of the characters. Some of them lost it over, but like, a lot of them lost it over the course of Overwatch 1. Let's be real, like, Hanzo has not been the same for a long time. Hanzo has not had his personality for a long time. So I don't want to blame that on Overwatch 2. That was just a thing that was coming, no matter what. And so just like, it's frustrating. So it's a very, very mixed experience for me. And I don't think at the current moment in time it's working out for Overwatch 2. And I think they're probably already considering pivoting. Or at least I hope they're considering pivoting right now, because they need to. They need to as soon as possible. But knowing Blizzard and knowing this team... Hold on, I'm fucking dying.
Wow,
What?
bro.
Bruh.
They
Hold
gonna use beer for that?
Is that beer?
Yeah.
Water, ice, salt, water,
Ayy.
ice, salt,
Ayy.
water, ice, salt.
Ayy.
That pizza look good as fuck, bro.
Dang, that
I'm
look
hungry as shit
good.
right now, cuz. I know that's not what I think it is.
A water balloon?
Yes! You just read my mind. What was y'all thinking?
Hello? Hello? No, it's not fixed. Are we good? Is this good? I don't know what happened there. Hello? 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 How about now? Can you hear me now? Good. A jam. You haven't had a stutter in a minute. Alright, I think we're good. I think we're finally good. Okay. Get back to it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, fucking get rid of the battle pass in the item shop. Go back to the old way. Don't do loot boxes, but do something new. Do something better. Be better, Blizzard. Fucking be a fucking trendsetter again. Don't be a fucking trend chaser. Oh, they're DDoSing me again. It goes there. I don't know if you guys... I'm in the red again. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's there. It goes here. It goes here. Can you redo the Overwatch 2 speech? The whole thing? I want to say more about it, but I'm waiting till my internet stops shitting. Okay, so real quick before my internet shits again, don't take this as me, like, hating Overwatch. I still love Overwatch. It is down here simply because of the Battle Pass and the item shop, and just, like, how disappointing this was as, like, a sequel. I still love Overwatch. I still love the characters in the universe and everything in the gameplay. I hate what this game currently stands for. That's all. So it's down here. The gameplay is so good now. I agree. I love playing Overwatch 2. I do. But they just had to fucking do some live servicery, you know? Alright. Opco's Arcade. This was a big deal, because this is the first game in the Fanverse initiative that's not Flumpties. We move on. And so people were really hyped about it. People, like, obviously, like, people are mad because the Fanverse is not getting the proper marketing that it should get. Like, literally, it's not being promoted through any official channels or anything, which really sucks for, like, the success of this initiative. And so people were, like, promoting it a lot, saying, like, guys, you gotta buy Popco's Arcade, you gotta support the Fanverse. And I did, because obviously, like, I want the Fanverse to be a success because I want more stuff from this initiative. This game's not good. This game is the most bare bones RPG I've ever played, and I've played some bare bones RPGs. This is not an enjoyable experience. I do not like this at all, and I have not finished it. It is probably objectively the worst game I played this year. I feel bad saying that because it was made by one person very quickly, but I did not like it. No, sir. Yeah, I played Ocarina of Time for the first time this year. True. Project Playtime. You guys know I like this game. You guys know it's up here. It's honestly up here. It's honestly up here. Dude, I really like this game. I really, really do. So this is the Dead by Daylight concept, but built for me. It's the mascot horror aesthetic. It's got fucking super non-context sensitive gameplay. It's very immersive. It's very technical. There's a lot of cool tricks you can pull off. The generators aren't fucking boring. Stand there and hold E. Dude, I have so much fun playing this game. I really, really do. And I really hope it ends up taking off and gets a lot of updates, because I want to see more of this game. I want to put it lower, because I feel like a Poppy Playtime game has no right being up here. But I literally have such a jam in time every time I play this. Like, what do you want me to say? When I have this much fun with the game, I feel like I can't put it down any lower, you know? Did I try the Train game if you like mascot horror a lot? Train... Oh, Choo Choo Charles? I wasn't too super into playing it. I feel like I missed the boat, and now I just, like, I don't feel the need to touch it. One game I do want to play, though, is Iron Lung. That's been on, like, the back of my mind for a while. But yeah, no, I have so much fun playing Project Playtime that by pure fun metric, I feel like it belongs up in the top 2. The only downsides right now are due to other people playing the game. That's really my biggest negatives, is just like people camping and not really playing the game. That's fucking annoying. And hopefully they put in fail-safes to alleviate that. But other than that, like, I think this game's like, it's such like an interestingly designed game. Like, you can do like so many cool things in the systems that they've created. It's cool. It's just cool. I like it a lot. And I like the monsters and everything. And their movesets, it's all very fancy. Mary's Arcade is the other FNAF fan game we played this year, and this game is fucking fantastic. This is like probably... I played a lot of good FNAF fan games. Like, I played like Joy of Creation, I played Five Nights at Candy's 1 Remake. I played Tealerland. But this game is like... It reminds me of FNAF 1 in, like, the best possible way. Like, this... I feel like if this was, like, the first thing, I could see this blowing up in the same way FNAF 1 did. What's the last game, the objective game? Oh, that's Nightfall. It's like it was a battle royale that came out this year by Landfall, the people that made, like, Totally Accurate Battle Simulator and everything. It's fantastic. Mary's Arcade enhances the horror in Five Nights at Freddy's to such, like, a huge degree with its, like, light mechanics and how, like, time moves faster when you're not looking at the cameras and everything, and just, like, the stress of it all is just perfect. It's just perfect. Like, this is a absolutely fantastic Five Nights game. Truly. I really, like... I want to put it up here. I really do. It is, I think it is objectively fantastic, and I also enjoyed it a lot, which is what this tier is built for. Yeah, I'm putting it up there. I'll put it up there. I don't give a fuck. Speaking of going up there, hold up. We got some bangers at the end here. Tunic, baby. What a game I was looking forward to, but I did not expect it to be quite as special as it turned out to be. I genuinely did not expect this to be quite as special as it was. What a cool experience I had with this game. Like, the fact that I had to break out a notebook to solve the final puzzle was just like, it's such a fun experience to go through. And just everything about this game, like I said before that, like, I really, you know how I feel about like skill trees and everything and all that shit. And so I thought about like, how cool would it be if there was a game that had like a lot of cool skills you could learn, but you actually like learned them. Like it wasn't just like a thing you spec'd into. You actually fucking like learned the skills and you could use them on repeat playthroughs to skip shit. But like from your knowledge of it, your past experiences. This is that game. And God, I hate that I'm like spoiling this just in case no one's played this. But like, this, okay. I've already said too much. I'm fucking sorry if you haven't played this game. Please play this game. I don't want to say any more. I really don't. Motherfucker said to bring out their thinking brain for Tunic. This should have gotten a GOTY nomination for sure. Tunic? Absolutely. Should have gotten a GOTY nomination over, like, this is better than... Well, I can't say because I haven't played those other games, but, like, it's gotta be better than Horizon, right? It's probably even better than Plague Tale. It's probably even better than God of War Ragnarok, but, like, it would never take that out. It's okay, you sold me on the game just now? Okay. I don't want to say any more about it, because I feel like the less you know, the better. Like, Hannah put a lot of trust in me, in, like, the game to sell it on me without saying a goddamn thing. Hannah was like, do not look at anything about this game, do not know anything about this game, just play it. And I was like, okay. Okay, I believe you. And it turned out fantastic. No incest games, huh? Damn. Empty tier. Alright. So guys, I mentioned at the beginning that I put all these pictures into a folder and just dropped them in this tier list. And this is just the order they came out in. That was actually a fabrication. Because I did make one slight adjustment, and that was putting Ocarina of Time at the bottom of the pile. And the reason I have done this is because I have a curveball to throw at you guys. If you were a good listener of the Japan Time podcast, you might have picked up on the fact that when I mentioned that Elden Ring was my game of the year, I didn't actually say that. I specifically said that Elden Ring was my favorite game that released this year. And that's because the actual best game I played this year is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Oh my fucking god, you guys! Get that shit out of here. Actually, you know what? What? No. Go back. Why is there laughing? This is Sectonia's theme. Ocarina of Time. Growing up, I didn't get it. I was a small brain child that did not understand the true majesty of this video game. Ocarina of Time is a triumph for this medium. And still, to this day, to this very day, to this very year, is one of the greatest games of all time, and still absolutely dunks on the majority of games that release today. This game, as one of the very first 3D adventure games, invented and perfected this style of game. Just one of the coolest worlds I've explored. Some of the best dungeons I've explored. Some of the best music I've listened to in a video game. Great characters. Great, oh my god. Ocarina of Time feels amazing to play, by the way. I don't know if people like have gone back to play it recently. The controls are like butter, dude. It's so perfect. This is genuinely as close to perfection as you can get. And it didn't fall off at the end like Elden Ring. That's like the big thing. It's like Elden Ring fell off. Ocarina of Time does not fall off. It hasn't fallen off in over 2 decades. Randomizer when? Maybe. Majora next year? I think so. I think so. So is Ocarina of Time one of your favorite games of all time now? Ooh, that's a good question. That is a good question. Maybe. That is a good question. What would that knock off, though? Ooh, I gotta have to think about that. No, okay, so the only Zelda games I've played is Ocarina of Time, Skyward Sword, and Breath of the Wild. And I played Skyward Sword last year and absolutely loved it. And obviously, you guys know I love Breath of the Wild. If you think Ocarina of Time is peak, you're gonna think Majora is God. I think Zelda might just be a fantastic series. I think Zelda might just be really fucking good. Yeah, I gotta play Wind Waker too. Cash Shield the GOAT. It is the GOAT. I don't like the word dunks. Oh, let me change this. I'm Lord of the Rings pilled now, so I can finally play games with swords in them. Dude. Am I a Skyward Sword enjoyer? I am now. I played the remaster, and I really, really loved it. I really did. And there it is. There's my tier list for this year. Pretty good year, all things considered. A lot of amazings, a lot of enjoys, a good amount of okays, and very few bads. It's like 5 bads. That ain't too bad. Didn't McGreen is originating from a Skyward Sword stream. That's so true. Wow. That is funny. That is really funny. Alright. I'm gonna save this and post it. Please add a title to your tier list. No, I just want a download image. Here we go. Should probably incest before posting. It's funny that's there though. Did I actually? You think so? Alright. Fine. Fine, I'll delete incest. People are definitely not gonna get. Yeah, you're right. People aren't gonna get the joke. People won't remember. Yeah. I think I put everything in order already, right? Yeah, I ordered everything as I was doing it. So I'll do parentheses. Here's ordered. Alrighty. So, I actually had nothing else to tag on to this. And we've gone for like, what, 3 hours? 3.5 hours? About 3 hours, almost? I don't really have anything to tag on to this to make it a more special stream, so I might honestly just call it here and say, see you guys in the new year. I think that's good. I'm happy with this. Alright, so, Saturday, we have not decided on a movie, if we're even doing a movie on Saturday, because it is New Year's Eve. If any of you guys have suggestions, please leave it in the Discord. If you are not in the Discord, what's wrong with you? Not actually true, I don't promote it. Let me get the invite. If you are not in the Discord, please feel free to join. Don't be weird. Just like read the rules and just be a normal person. And if you have a movie suggestion, leave it in the movie suggestions channel or recommendations channel, and we will eventually do a movie on Saturday. If not, we'll do it Friday or just wait till next week. Don't know. But yeah. Thank you everybody for showing up, and if I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Been up here lighting up the sky.
Luna, do you have time to sing a goodbye song before you go?
Always Bear.
Hey, this was really fun.
We hope you liked it too.
Seems like we've just begun when suddenly we're through. Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye. 'Cause now it's time to go. But hey, I say, well, that's okay.
'Cause we'll see you very soon, I know.
Very soon, I know. Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye.
Goodbye.
And tomorrow, just like today, the moon, the bear, and the big blue house will be waiting for you to come and play. To come and play. To come and play. Bye now.